Hey, I gotta start eating this mic. I need to start talking like Ricky.
I didn't want her to die.
Obviously, you're not a golfer.
You want to toe? I can get you toe. Believe me. There are ways, dude. You don't want to know about it, believe me.
Yeah, but Walter.
Hell, I can get you toe by 3 o'clock this afternoon with nail polish. That rug really tied the roof together, did it not?
You know it did. It tied it together like a son of a gun. We're back, baby. We had to miss a recorded episode, a live YouTube episode. But we're back. And it's Christmas time, baby. It's cold over here. We moved the whole...
Closer to the window.
I guess so. I was going to say move the whole operation. Thought I'd be warm over here.
Yeah.
Still see my breath. I got to call an HVAC guy. Hello, my name's Eastwood Frisch.
For Ghostbusters.
Or the Ghostbusters. I am hey, you got a Squirt over there.
Yeah. One of my favorite sodas.
Squirt's good time. Zero sugar. Real fruit juice in there.
Yeah.
Squirt. It's not just for porn. It's for drinking.
It's grapefruit. It's grapefruit.
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 I can't have that grapefruit. I can't drink. That's right. I knew there was
refreshing.
a reason I couldn't drink Squirt. This is for anybody out there. A little advice for you. If you are on, I'm on a couple different antidepressants, and but a lot of them, grapefruit juice will counteract them, so you can't have the old grapefruit juice. It will. It's such a good flushes you out so well that it actually will,
Yeah, you can see health is dripping off
oh
me.
yeah, look at you, picture of health, as they say. But it will actually pull the chemicals
Tannins.
out of there. Yes, the tannins, just like the weed. Tannins.
Yes.
I used to enjoy weed when I didn't know about tannins.
Yeah. Back before tannins were cool.
I liked weed before it was cool.
So how was your holiday? How was
Back
your,
when it was outlaw.
How was your Thanksgiving?
Oh yeah. Just had Thanksgiving. It was good. My wife's side of the family was pleasant as always and very nice. And now, of course, yeah, my side was fine. There's just so many people. It's one of those things where it's like there's 50 people in the house. And you're just,
There were 48 people at Tiffany's. 48 people.
I was exaggerating. It wasn't 50, more like 30.
Yeah. Tiffany's house. 48.
Jeez.
It was insane.
That's a lot.
But there was actually more good food than stress. That's
good.
always my way I judge.
Okay. Well, this
Normally
is
it tilts towards the stress side, but this year was.
if I'm going to judge it on that, then for me, this is just for me. I can't stand any Thanksgiving food.
No?
There is not anything I like in the Thanksgiving. Not that I can have. There's some things I like, but I can't have pecan pie, stuff like that. But turkey, no, I don't want turkey. Dressing, it was inside the turkey. You think I'm gonna have that? I'm not gonna eat turkey, but I'm gonna eat that. No, thank you. Ham, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a ham guy. I'm a good deep fried seasoned right turkey. I love.
Yeah, you're right. There is,
And a really good.
There are
if
circumstances.
if you nail a smoked turkey, I'll eat
I
something.
was gonna say there are circumstances where I'm like, hey, that turkey's pretty good.
My mom's sweet potato casserole. I
Oh, yeah.
have hated sweet potatoes almost my entire life, especially the casserole with the
Yeah,
marshmallows and just. My mom's sweet potato casserole is more like sweet potato pie or like
Yeah.
it's delightful.
done up,
I
but-
freaking love it.
but yeah, because of all the things they put with it. Much like the pumpkin, there's so much you have to do to it.
Right.
To all the whipped cream, I don't care for that. What else?
sister
You got
made-
cranberries.
My sister made chicken noodles, dude. They're always good, but this
Yeah.
year I don't know if she put like cocaine in them or what.
She might have.
They were extra good
She
this
probably
year.
was part of that when your folks went back up north. I don't know if you saw that, but yesterday a semi truck got busted in middle Illinois with,
Yeah.
I'm going to get it wrong, 1,000 pounds of cocaine. And it just had it all laid out on the ground. It was insane looking. Hey, sorry about that. My name is Joseph Eastwood Frisch. I am America's foremost cowboy. Ask me any questions you like. Just don't ask me about my hat. This here is James Koppel. We're going to talk about movies. We talk about movies on here. Hopefully you've watched the show before. If you haven't, that's what we do. Surely you wouldn't be this far in with no context.
I'd say very few people make it this far in.
You're probably right. We're talking to nobody.
They're like, God dang, they're just gonna talk again about nothing.
About nothing. Hey, these guys don't really ever talk about your movie. It's more of a lifestyle podcast. They just talk about like their lives and stuff. Start talking about their wives. They do that joke from like 20 years ago and think it's funny. My wife.
I still think it's funny. I giggle every time.
What are we doing today? It's Christmas time, so we're doing Christmas. We put aside, what was it? Deep down, down deep.
I don't remember what October was.
I don't remember October at all. November, of course, was No Nut November.
Yeah.
And December was going to be deep, you know what, December.
Yeah.
But we decided to go with Christmas movies instead.
Basically,
One of these days.
Idea, just
One of these. September Pornelia, I think, might be a good thing
Mm-hmm.
next year, where we watch like the softest core porn we can handle.
yeah.
Maybe a little hard ticket to Hawaii thrown in there, stuff like that. Actually, should have been a No Nut November. Anyway, what are we doing? We're doing Silent Night, Deadly Night,
2.
2, baby.
Yeah. Which
Why are we doing 2? You're saying, hey, what a bunch of idiots. They should have watched 1 before they watched 2. Turns out, no.
No.
Turns out 1 is half of part 2.
I would say over half. Yeah.
So much of it. Oh, yeah. You're not going to help me, Doc. I don't know where they got this guy, Ricky. It's such a confusing sequel because the main guy from the first one's gone and they wanted to tie it together. So they made it his little brother.
Right.
So he's retelling a story that he was not there for.
Right.
That's the big flaw of this
Yeah, his
movie.
brother told him.
His brother told him, so it had to be true.
But he has all these memories and flashbacks.
He has memories and flashbacks that
Like he's remembering.
he's like, I was there. I'm like, you were, what? No.
I mean, he was there.
He was there, but he was an infant.
Yes, a very infant.
There's
infant.
no way he remembered. And Ricky has 2 modes. He has angry mode, where he talks with his eyes big. And he says everything like this. And then he has really angry mode, where he just gets a little bit louder, but not much. He has that weird movie yell where you're not really yelling because you don't want to blow out the mics.
Is he the worst actor you've ever seen? Honestly,
that's a tough call.
I think he is.
He's bad. He very well might be for like a mainstream, well, I don't call it mainstream, but for a movie
been
that
in
had
a
a
few
budget.
things, I think.
Oh, has he?
I want to say yeah. Unless he just looks like
Spoilers.
Well,
I was busy and I had no time to do any research. I don't know if he could be.
he looks
John
very
Holmes
similar
for
to
all I know.
the kid in Iron Eagle. I don't know. I think it might be him.
Well, frickin' Kyle's here. He should be sitting right there on his computer. He could look
And
this
so
up
he's
for
the
us.
worst. Much like he's the worst actor I think I've ever seen. Kyle's the worst intern.
The worst intern. He's not going to get those credit hours.
No, I'm not gonna.
Dude,
I'm
you
not
see
gonna,
it?
Yeah, I see it. I'm not signing off on his credit hours.
I heard there's a guy named, he's got a place called Dylan's Chillin' and Air Repair. I might call him up.
Yeah.
It's too cold in here. Winter's coming. All right. So Ricky, worst actor. He might be the worst actor. Am I the worst actor? He delivers every single line with that exact line.
He did.
Big eyes.
The look he has in that opening scene is a very serial killer look, though. Like he nailed that. And that might just be his normal look. I don't know.
Yeah.
But his eyes, like the big dark circles, just
Yeah, just big dead eyes. He does have big dead eyes.
Yeah. It's big
So-
dead acting too.
The story was, from what I remember, so the first one came out and parents were they lost their mind.
Right.
They were like, we can't have this. They boycotted it. I think the big thing was a commercial came out like an early.
Yeah, and it made it look.
But the commercial played at like a time when it shouldn't have played during a very popular show that kids watched or something, and that's what made the uproar. Was everybody saw that commercial, and they lost their minds, and theaters pulled it. Like nobody saw the first one. So the producer was like, well, if nobody saw it, like
We'll just play it again.
yeah, more or
just
less,
do it
like people were hungry to see it because of the fact that it was pulled.
The best publicity is any publicity.
Yeah.
I don't see why they would pull that.
So that's right. Yeah, they crumbled.
The 80s.
80s,
Trickle down.
80s, yep.
Trickle
so
down
they
publicity.
pulled it, and then the producer was like, no, we're using all this footage.
This is masterful stuff.
So the first half of Silent Night, Deadly Night 2 is just a flashback of Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Yeah,
What other movies need to do this treatment? Could you imagine if, like, Lord of the Rings 2,
Oh
Two
my
Towers
God.
was just Frodo, or just
you remember
whoever.
when, and then it flashes to
Gimli's like, we had a mean fight with the orcs. We did. It flashes back at 15 minutes of the orc fight you saw from last movie. Oh, what happened to Boromir? I'll tell you what happened to Boromir.
It was a cold dark.
Were you there? No, I was on a boat, but I was told it happened this way. I've seen a lot. I've seen you're all the same, Doc. You're number 13.
I mean, can you imagine if all the diehards were like that?
Oh, that'd be great. It's just him telling Dennis Franz, listen, this one time I had to walk on broken glass. Cut to, it's got the music. It's just literally the clip from the movie. That's all it was. It was just clips from the movie. Yes, in any other scenario,
This doesn't work.
no. This is the worst movie you've ever seen.
No, doesn't work for Star Wars. Doesn't work for. It might work
anything.
for like the Dukes of Hazzard movie if they had like a Dukes of Hazzard
Yeah.
2,
Yes.
Moonshine Return. Or
Yeah,
something,
you're
like
right.
that.
Don't bring that up around Shark. He gets violently upset about that movie. Just because Jessica Simpson didn't
Just because
dye
it
her
wasn't
hair.
Coin Vance. I think Shark's a big Coin Vance.
I think
fan.
so. I think it's all to do with Jessica Simpson's hair color. And that's about it.
My bad. Cut that out.
You're bad indeed. Edit machine still
Cut that
broke. Still broke.
Four Rows of Singer Bell hit me.
Oh, nice. Try that here in a bit.
Yep.
So yeah, half the movie is just the first one, and you don't have to watch it. It's and it's Ricky. He's telling his story. So it starts off. I said first big mistake, 1987. The number one show is probably Cosby. Number one song, 1987. I'm gonna say Bon Jovi. Something off. No, Slippery When Wet would have been done. Better Roses. isn't quite
87?
yet.
I'm going to say it was
87.
like Starship.
It's probably a pretty good guess. We'll look it up later. This is what we're going to start doing. We're going to look up, we're going to guess, and then next week, we're going to look up the information.
And then the whole episode next week will be a flashback of this episode. Remember when we talk about this?
Oh my God, how funny would that be? Remember every time I've ever brought up Carrie Fisher?
That's what we should start doing when we don't have time to shoot new episodes. It's just
Just shoot 10 minutes of us referencing
Yes,
something else.
Yes.
Speaking of, where's Mr. T up to? Let's see a montage. Oh, man. Nope. Starts off, no Christmas music. What gives, man?
Right.
You got a Christmas movie. Christmas music is old. You can just, anybody can play it. You don't need to
there's
license
no rights.
it.
There's
There's no
no
rights. You don't need to license it. You can't just take someone's version of it, but you can have somebody record a new version. No problem. First thing I wrote, Dead Eyes.
Yep. That's
I said, is this Kristen Stewart's uncle?
dude looks like a serial killer. Dead eyes.
I actually love Kristen
here.
Stewart these days. Yeah, they're black. Oh, we have this weird thing. This black orderly comes in. Probably not called orderlies these days, but
Probably not called black either.
well, there's just some kind of weird. I say it because there's some kind of weird like
He looks familiar. Like he's,
racial tension between the two of them.
yeah.
He keeps like being scared of Ricky, and then Ricky just does his thing. Like he's gonna kill him. He's so black. He does look very familiar.
I think he's been in like bit parts in other movies, like maybe
Yes.
Ghostbusters, where there's a scene where he's like,
Yeah.
or something. Because I've seen that dude like 100 times in other movies.
I wonder if he's a buddy to someone in the industry.
Right.
So yeah, it's just weird. There's just a weird tension between them. Nothing happens. He plugs a recorder in and puts it on the table. Ricky's just. Why isn't Ricky handcuffed? Ricky's just
80s, man.
Ricky's free to roam around this place.
Yeah. Just trickle down everything. Trickle
I
down
just wrote down
security.
Ricky yells every line. It's December 24th. How convenient. The doctor decided to record this conversation.
Dr. Bloom.
Dr. Bloom. And
Not Doom. Bloom.
and he says, he says, "F off, Doc." That's how he introduces himself.
There's a lot of finger pointing early
Yep.
when they're talking to each other.
Yep. Yeah.
Both
that's
of
right.
them.
You're right. And
For no reason, really.
Ricky's like tells him he's the 13th doctor, and at one point the orderly guard, whatever he is. He's not dressed like a guard. He's dressed like an orderly. So I just say that.
Yeah,
He
he's
comes
in all
running
white.
in, and the doctor's like, "You leave us alone." Like, he's free. I have him. I'm not scared of him. He even tells him. And then it comes to it. He says, "Who killed your parents?" And Rick says,
You really want to know?
"You really want to know?" Santa Claus. Now, how do you deliver that line like that and not be? And the director's not like, "Can we have another one? Maybe say it take it down a little bit." All right, yeah, sure.
Everything he,
Santa Claus.
he's the. I'm telling you, that's my theme through this whole. He's the worst actor. Or like he's everything about this character he does wrong.
He does. Every where he should go up, he goes down.
Right.
Where he should be calm, he's enraged.
Who am I to tell him how to act out?
I mean-
a serial killer. If he were a serial killer, this would obviously be how he was, and it would be like hysterical to be killed by this guy. Because I'd be like, "You're doing this all wrong. Wow, he's killing me."
You'd
But
just be like, "Could you say that line again?" You're gonna what? My what? Stop yelling. You're blowing out the mics, Ricky. We got to get this kill on tape, dude. And thus begins. Who killed his parents? Santa Claus. Let's get cold over here again. That begins the flashbacks, which the first one's pretty brutal.
yeah,
It's the parents, and I'm with you. Earlier, you said you thought you'd watch the first one. I don't think I've ever seen the first one. I've just seen this one because I don't remember the context of why Santa's out in the road. Santa Claus out in the road, and he flags down the car, and then he shoots the dad.
yeah.
Right? Santa has a gun, kind of unusual for a slasher. And then he pulls the mom out, and then there's just a gratuitous 80s, "I'm going to rip your shirt off before I kill you."
Well, he had other plans until she slapped him.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, and then he was like, "All right, then. You like the rough stuff, baby." Well, it's the next movie. Kills the mom right in front of, not Ricky.
No.
Ricky's older brother,
Bobby.
Bobby.
Oh, is it Bobby?
I don't know.
Ricky
It
Bobby.
should have been. From the weeds, he watches, and then the Santa's like, "I'm gonna find you." Meanwhile, Ricky's in the back seat crying.
Right.
Serial killer.
Because he's an infant.
He's
This
an
affects
infant.
him in no way because he's not going to remember any of this.
Yeah, and the serial killer, I guess he has a heart for babies. He's like, can't kill this infant. This mom and the dad.
Right,
This
that's
6-year-old boy, sure, I'll murder them to death.
He left us out there to freeze to death.
Is that what Ricky
Yeah,
said?
yeah.
But how did you know this? I was there, he says to the doctor in the back seat as an infant. Bobby told me.
I think it is Bobby.
We're going with it if it's not. I just wrote down so mad. Then we go to the orphanage.
St. Mary's Orphanage.
St. Mary's Orphanage. Billy.
Billy. It is
Billy.
Billy. Billy.
Billy. Oh yeah, I got written down there. Billy orphanage. Oh boy, I'm jumping all around here. I don't know. He says something about the orphanage, and of course, Ricky says, "I hated that effing place." Okay. He jumps. Like, they could have done this even without Ricky's in betweens. I think it would have worked even better.
Yeah.
So then they cut to this orphanage, just living hell for poor Ricky.
Bobby or Billy.
Or
really.
Billy. I'm sorry.
It's a
yeah.
lot more help for Billy.
Yeah. And how is Ricky at the same orphanage? I don't think they have babies there. Orphanages are like a certain age, right? I guess that's not true. They have to have an orphanage for younglings that have no
Younglings.
Especially, he killed the younglings. I had to kill the younglings. He would have been a great Anakin. I hate sand.
I didn't want him to die, but he had to.
Can you save her?
It was
Padme.
It was like he's okay. I think I've got it.
Go.
His acting.
Hey, we're halfway through. We got
His acting is kind of like Keanu Reeves. Way worse than that.
way worse than Charlie.
Yes.
Keanu's got like charisma, no matter what he does.
Right.
You know, he's one of those guys
Yeah.
that just like doesn't matter what Keanu's about.
But his voice is a little.
But his
Like-
line delivery's always been a little like, whoa.
Yeah.
We had to. It took us 20 years for us to be like, oh, okay.
Yeah. You watch Point Break, and Keanu's not quite as phenomenal in that movie as.
I love it.
Whoa.
Because I know every line. But make it 2, Johnny. 2.
Johnny fucking Utah.
Johnny Utah. Make it 2, Johnny. Meatball sub. Make it 2.
Let's do. Dude,
my
we
favorite-
got Let's do that movie.
We do need to do Point Break.
Point
Point Break
Break.
holds up because who directed Point Break? It's a lady, really good director.
Celine Dion.
Yes,
I don't know.
the Canadian wonder. Is her and that weird old husband still out there? Put that on your resume.
I'm a squirter.
Put that on your chatterbait goals. I've been talking about chatterbait too much on here lately. I just seen the commercials.
Now,
Where are we at here?
if he was Mr. T in this movie,
Oh,
hey man, that orifice is terrible, man. Let me. Awesome.
you want to? You really want to know, fool?
You want to know who killed my parents?
Jolly St. Nick. That's who. You would have had those
The government, man.
First sickle cell, then AIDS, now this.
Oh man,
Maybe I went too far.
that gold-plated lead necklace I gave you. Got a lead poisoning.
I told him real gold. Fool tried to trick me with
I think my
lead.
dad would wear it.
I just passed it on to my son. Who knew? Who knew that's how lead poisoning worked? Yeah, I told him to never take it off. He bathed with it, slept with it.
Grew into his neck, man.
Poisoning, that lead just seeped right through his body. And we didn't have no. I don't know. I have the Santa deer cut up. I have no idea what that is. It's not the deer death. The deer death doesn't happen for a while. Not Ricky. Bobby, I'm calling him Bobby, is spying on a sexy couple. They're not sexy. I just meant they're having sex.
What about the I don't sleep part?
Oh, I don't know that part. I
Yeah,
missed
the
that.
doctor's like, do you dream? And he's like, I don't sleep.
I missed that part.
I
Might be
was
part
like,
might be part of your problem.
It hit me hard enough where I just wrote, I don't sleep. Like the delivery of the line was so terrible. It's so unnecessarily angry. Like the doctor was just like, do you dream? And he's like, I don't sleep.
Ricky's so upset. Ricky's life has just been nothing but trauma, and he's upset all the time. I get pretty upset, but poor Ricky. He's spying on this teen couple having sex, and this nun comes up there, and
Yeah, he's like what? I'm 6, 8.
7, yeah, something like that. Now, and this nun comes up, and she's like, "What's going on?"
Of course, he's not supposed to be out of his room.
He's not supposed to be out of his room. He's out of his room. He's looking through a keyhole at this couple.
Oh, so
And then
to clarify the slaughtered deer, that was his picture he drew.
that's what it was.
Yeah.
It was Santa and a deer. They were both killed. They were all cut
Yeah,
up.
there was
That's
like
what it was.
swords and stuff sticking out of him.
Yep, Santa and deer cut up. Yeah, that makes sense. He sees this couple. The nun goes in there. This is the part I found most disturbing. The nun like traps the couple
Yeah,
in this closet
the teenage couple.
and gets the guy's belt. Teenage couple. Yeah, teenage couple. Gets the guy's belt back when men still wore belts like cowboys should.
I got a belt on right now.
And starts beating the hell out of this kid.
It's bad enough to get spanked or beat, but beat by your own belt.
in front of your lady
just a
that you were
whole
mid
new level of
mid
insult.
coitus with,
Yeah.
to use the parlance of our time.
Mate sweet. Fuck. That's that German the German band back in the day. They were heavy metal, but that was like the Mate sweet, make sweet, F. That was their translation. I guess.
Oh, I had no idea.
Berserker.
Oh,
That's what it was.
I know who you're talking
Now
about.
it's time to make sweet. Berserker. Sorry, go ahead.
No,
it's nothing to do with the movie.
now I just can't think of that name. Yes. She ties him to the bed for sneaking out of his room, and I was like, boy, this kid's gonna have all kind of fetishes.
Dude. I mean, the level of just trauma to this kid in every sense.
This kid's not gonna be able to jerk off or nothing.
No,
He's gonna have to tie himself up.
he's gonna have to
He's gonna David Carradine himself.
do it near a table saw or something weird. Just the blade has to be going, man. I have to be right on it.
You have a belt. You have some stockings to tie me up with. It's got to get specific.
Right.
Do you have any Hot Wheels? I need 3 Hot Wheels, 2 of them orange. I'd like the last one to be white, preferably. I'll take cream if you don't have it. I got some injections the other day
Yeah,
in my hip, and
really helping.
a little bit.
Yeah.
Not bad. But
Any benefit is good benefit, I guess.
yeah. But they had to tape my feet together in a real weird way. And the lady, the
Did they
nurse,
chant or anything while they were doing
well,
it?
the lady was like, "So this is weird. But I'm gonna have to tape your feet together." And I was like, "Whoa, that's all right, whatever." And then I, made the joke, be careful. This is how fetishes are born. Well, she was cool. She wasn't one of these PC chicks. She thought it was funny, but it was real strange. And then, of course, they put needles in me. And the doctor at one point was like, "All right, here comes needle." And he said to me, "Looks like you're not afraid of needles, though. You've been around some needles, huh?" And my dumb brain, because I was so nervous, you feel weird getting health stuff done to you. And I was like, just for a second, I was like, does this guy think I'm a junkie or something? Like, why does he think I fucking like needles? I don't like needles, dude. And I was like, oh, you're covered in tattoos, you idiot. That's what he's talking about.
I usually have between my toes, though, man.
But literally, my dumbass.
Got any black tar?
My dumbass is like, what the? Does this guy think I'm junkie? What's he talking about?
Oh yeah, head to toe tattoos.
Anyway, that was my needle story, my fetish story. Sex couple, he gets
It
beat
had
up.
me on pins and needles.
No. He decks Santa Claus. Still his brother.
Oh, dude, he knocked Santa Claus out of the chair, and he's like 6. Dude, that is a left hook out of nowhere. That is brutal. That was awesome.
That's right. Cut to Billy is 18, and he's working in an awesome toy store. This is my favorite part of the movie. Is this toy store they're in?
Yeah.
Did you check out anything that was in the toy store?
I saw a bunch. There were Halloween plastic outfits up
There was
against the wall.
lots of fun outfits, like with the cheap plastic mask. I think they were a lot of like Marvel and
Yeah, it was
Monster.
like Batman and
Yeah, Batman, and I think I even might have had one of them. Like they were the cheapest.
yeah, they would cut your
They would
cut your lips when you
cut
cut the
your-
mask on.
and then they would fall apart after like a month because
Yeah.
they would just become so brittle. You'd pick it up and just go, just like crumble.
The
in your
rubber band would
hands.
always break the head.
Rubber, yeah, it would always break first.
Yeah, there was. I saw a
Those
bunch
were
of stuff in
there.
that
I
toy
didn't.
store.
I just can't
There was
believe
an inflated yellow
I didn't write them down.
raft, like for a pool.
Yeah.
There was a,
I wondered. I was like, are these second hands? Or like, how did they get this? Because it didn't look like a toy store. Short of the merchandise.
even the merchandise was off.
There's a lot of they wouldn't have multiples of things, is why I think that. There was several He-Man things that caught my attention. The original Gray Skull was there. And then beside it, you could never get a good shot of it, but it was some kind of He-Man It wasn't the sled because it was too big of a box for the Sky Sled. It was like the size of Grayskull. I couldn't figure out what it was. There was a lot of games.
Didn't Man at Arms and Tila, didn't they cruise around in a thing that was very similar to like the land speeder in Star Wars? Like it was brown and it had like things that came out.
Yes, they
Might have been
did.
that.
The only reason I wouldn't say it is because like the box is great big He-Man. Like that's all you see is He-Man. And I couldn't see what was underneath it. You could just see He-Man going like this, and you had like something in the air, almost like it was a special He-Man. It was like a giant He-Man.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I think somebody like they asked everybody, "Do you have toy boxes?" But it worked for me because there were so many nostalgic toys, just like you would see for a split second, like a Light Bright or whatever it might be. He's 18 years old. He's in the Toy Story. He's in there with Woody, Buzz.
Things get dark, man.
And, of course, what do you think they asked poor Bobby to do? Be the store Santa Claus. And he doesn't tell them, like, hey, guys.
Well, the sister from the orphanage got him this job.
Oh,
so
that's
she
right.
did it on purpose.
That's right. Oh, you think so?
Yeah.
I didn't put that together. Well, that's even
She
better.
was always trying to break him of his Santa Claus.
Yeah, you're right. And so they make him dress up as Santa Claus. He's very uncomfortable. A kid gets on his lap at one point, and he like reprimands the kid. He's
I don't
like,
bring toys to naughty
I
kids.
don't bring
I
toys.
punish them.
I punished them.
And then it cuts to like the mom standing out there
Yeah.
talking to another mom. He's so good with
He's
kids.
so good with the no.
They just stop
Hey,
backing up right as
Once
soon as they
again,
get there.
80s. The mom was like, "That's good." He scolded my child for nothing. Oh well, I could hear that through the mic.
That was crazy.
It sounded wild.
Hey man, that is wild, man.
Man, old aliens are in here or something, man.
Damn. Mind
The
control.
boss is getting drunk. The
Yeah.
boss is like hammered at the toy store. He's so much so he's having trouble like putting together sentences. And then we have there's a couple there. I guess they work there too.
Okay. How in real life? How many times have you walked up on a ongoing or very potential, very soon, getting ready to happen rape? Because
rape.
I've never. I don't believe.
No.
And
I don't
it
think
happens
so.
to this guy all the time.
It happens all the time. And
That's
this
like 5 times in a movie.
Yeah,
or
you're
something.
right.
Yeah.
Every time he sees a couple, every time the
Yeah.
guy, it's
they're
like
they're making out. The
it's
girl, it's like,
unconsensual.
no, stop it.
It's
Ah,
and it's
slap.
always this, well, except for that one, but you're right. They're all consensual until, all right, that's enough, and then it's like, no, it's not, and then you're right.
Yeah, and he's like, no. So he's actually
No.
a good guy, kind of, but then
Punish. Or is that Ricky? Ricky says punish. I think this guy just says naughty.
yeah.
Such a stupid movie. They go back there. They're making out. Of course, the guy's like, he rips her shirt off. Of course, 80s. And then he kills. This is the part I didn't like. He gets the guy off of her. And I don't remember what's he do to him.
He grabs the cord, like an extension
Oh, that's
cord.
right. And he starts choking. He chokes him
Chokes him,
out.
but he lifts him like 4
Well,
feet off
when
the
you're
ground.
Santa Claus,
Superhuman strength.
when
I
you're
guess.
got Santa powers,
I guess, yeah.
lift him up. But the woman,
She calls him a bastard.
she calls him a bastard and says she
he's getting-
hates him.
Yeah, that guy's getting ready to rape her.
Like he just
goes
saved
back-
you. Granted, he shouldn't have
took
killed
it a
him.
little far.
He shouldn't have killed the guy. He could have just grabbed him by the balls and hurt him really bad.
Did you happen to
call
notice?
the police?
So whenever he's got the guy up in the air and he's choking him,
Yeah.
and then they cut to just like him in the Santa suit and then the legs and boots of the guy.
Okay. Yeah.
How small. Like that guy was either like 4'9" or they
was a
used
child.
It was a child.
Oh,
like,
God.
legs
I bet it
for the
was.
scene. So
I did not notice that. So then he kills the girl. He kills them both
well, because she's not clean, I guess.
because she's not clean.
Yeah, she's engaged in purposeful
right.
fornication before
Naughty.
marriage, I guess.
Naughty. Sorry. Kills them both. What do I have here? I can't read my own writing.
That's the second set of boobs we've seen, I believe.
I think so. Does he kill the boss then too?
Yeah, because the boss comes back there. He hears something. He goes back there. He catches a hammer to the head,
Oh, that's right.
and then the other woman comes back there.
I did write down gross boobs. Not sure who I was referring to.
So he
yeah,
kills
you're
4
right.
people in that story.
Yeah. Oh, and then we have what does this say? Bitch superior. Oh, that's what he
Mother,
calls. That's
yeah.
what he calls Mother Superior. Bitch superior. You mean bitch superior? That's when I have written down gross boobs. If you watch the Joe Bob, which I didn't this time around, if you watch the Joe Bob on Shudder, last drive-in version of this movie, I think Darcy, his male girl Darcy, reenacts the the naked antlers
Oh yeah.
thing.
It's a great scene.
for the end of the show.
It's a great scene.
The whole episode, she's like, "We're gonna do it." Joe Bob be like, "Darcy, you can't get naked on here." Now she's like, "The movies are full of boobs." He's like, "They're not gonna allow it." We gotta find our way around it.
Bikini, man.
Joe Bob, check out Joe Bob. If you like this show, check out Joe Bob. He's much more
He's
informative.
better at it. He's better at it than we are.
There. Why do I have low rent Emilio? Oh, because he looks like a low.
Yeah.
He looks like Emilio. Yeah. Gross boobs and nice shorts. I wrote down low rent Emilio, and then here's the famous. This is what everybody remembers from the first movie: is the deer antler death. I think. Is putting her.
It was pretty etched in my brain.
Yeah, putting on her. The antlers come through her, and then Emilio. Emilio hit Santa. I said, "Punish." I was like, "Oh, that carpet! They're gonna have so many burns."
Oh, for sure.
That carpet was so thick.
Yeah.
And there was so much action on that carpet. It's like, you couldn't do anything on that carpet. God, it would burn you to death.
Yeah.
I haven't had carpet in a long time. It might just be from the burns. I might have just had such a
Trauma from
trauma
childhood.
from burns that I was like, no more. I'd rather break my kneecap on wood or tile than ever get burned again.
Somewhere around here, I have third set of boobs,
It had to be that. It was this. It was
and then I have now. That's how you throw an axe,
okay.
because he like pulls it over his head and throws it,
Oh,
and
yes.
it's like
Yeah.
sticks in the wall next to her.
Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah, you're right. That's I wrote down. There's a great Radio Shack placement in here. And
I think it helped him a lot.
I was gonna say it did, and somebody told me that was probably 15 years ago. Gave me a good tip. It was like Radio Shack stock was way down. He's like, buy it, buy it. I put nearly 3/4 of our nest egg in Radio Shack. So
Still waiting for it to come back. Yeah,
well,
I
he
think
told
it
me
will. I
that
think
he's
it will.
like, he
gotta
gave
be
me
patient.
he gave me the best advice. He was like, don't pay attention to it.
Yeah.
Just 20 years later, check it out.
well-
So it's coming. I'm looking at my watch. It's coming up.
I ignored the Radio Shack tip, but I did take the Kmart tip.
Oh, yeah, it's just as good. Sears, they've been around forever.
And, yeah.
What could happen to them?
They've been around forever. They're not going anywhere.
I tell you what, here pretty soon eggs are gonna go down, y'all. Are Americans just scarfing down
Eggs.
eggs?
Yeah.
I've literally been thinking.
Everybody's
about this
so
lately.
concerned about the price of
Everybody's
eggs.
so concerned about the price of goddamn eggs. Get a couple chickens. We are flush with eggs. If you want some eggs, come see me. I got farm fresh eggs. I'll sell them to you. You won't be complaining about the price because you'll love them so much. They're the best eggs. I have the best eggs. Everybody knows.
Everybody knows.
But like seriously, are you eating a dozen goddamn eggs a day?
Right.
What are you talking about? They're $3. You can't get a gallon of milk for $3, and you're complaining about a dozen meals possibly for $3. You want to do the math on it? It's not very much a meal, guys.
Right.
If that's your main complaint, and I've noticed gas is pretty cheap this weekend. $2.80, I believe, somewhere. So I fill up.
We voted in a rapist, absolute
business con man.
con man, so that the price of eggs will possibly go down.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, just had to make that clear.
Yep. Hope you enjoy your cheap eggs.
In the gulag.
Yeah. Hope you enjoy your eggs while you have nothing else to watch or do, or no real news to read. I have trust in America's snipers.
Yeah. I don't anymore.
I do. I think that it'll come through. Anyway,
I have as much trust in American snipers as I do in Democratic voters at this point, which is none.
what do we got here?
His take on this character is completely wrong. Is what I have now. Like it took me this long to be like, you know what?
to be
He's
like,
not.
this
He's not
guy's
pulling
bad.
out of this. He's not pulling the nose up. This is a crash. Like,
Yeah.
he's killing this.
So
Roll in a
here
bad
comes
way.
a non-sexual kill, and that's there's two kids out sledding, and
They find the brightest forest.
the brightest lit moonlight forest you've ever
It should have
seen.
just been sledding in a cave at that
Why
point.
weren't they just sledding during the day?
I don't know.
Why is it at night? It makes no sense. And I think I think they're shooting day for night. They were just like, whatever, we'll just darken it up a little bit. Nobody knows this trick. These two kids are going to go sledding. They found virgin snow.
Yeah.
This is just like you. I think there's a joke or something like that.
It's the only kind you'll ever
The only
get.
kind you'll ever get. That's what it was. Because I was like, that joke doesn't work.
No,
because it doesn't make
doesn't
sense.
make
All he
sense.
had to do was say, "Yeah, just like you." Just what my gut reaction was
Yeah.
to say. Instead, the only kind you'll ever get. So he's just gonna be banging V's for the rest of his life. He never ever has repeat sex with any woman, and he's only getting V's.
Yeah. It's a weird life. Somebody's got to live it, man. You know?
Do they? I don't think they do. Be easy. God,
Well, how many virgins do you get in when you go to heaven?
70 some, I
Yeah.
think. In my religion that I made up, it's none because I don't want to be around any virgins. I want 0 virgins.
Except for that
around me.
married chick, man. She's pretty cool.
Well, she still got blowed out from that immaculate conception. Oh, talking about Christmas. Yep. Mary getting blowed out. Kids open some presents. One of them got a Miss Piggy doll,
Yeah.
which I noticed was kind of fun.
And the other one just got like a yellow duck, which I did not think
Man,
was fun.
I must have been on something when I took these notes. It says, "Kill janitor, poor dear, son of a bitch." Son of a bitch is probably a quote from this. That poor dear son of a bitch. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. So he comes up in the janitor comes up in the Santa outfit.
Yes, yeah,
The
that's
cop
right.
pulls up.
Yeah, and they shoot him because
Yeah.
they think it's
They think it's the brother. He's hard of hearing janitor.
That's right. He
Old
can't
guy.
hear. Poor deaf. That's what it was. You poor deaf son of a bitch.
Yeah.
That's what they say about him. They cops kill him.
The guy says, I guess the cop kind of felt bad about it.
Kind of felt
too.
bad. Yeah, he kind of felt bad about it.
Just shot an innocent
I mean,
Santa Claus
it is a cop.
in front of kids.
It is police. ACAB.
I love how the cop killed an innocent man.
Mm-hmm.
The ambulance comes,
Mm-hmm.
picks up the dead Santa, leaves, and then there's not another cop that has showed up yet. It just shows him like on the way.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'm like, how far away is this police station?
It's pretty far.
And this cop stays. Like he's just shot an innocent man. They should be taking his gun away.
oh yeah,
They should be.
80s. They're just like, whatever.
And I guess they're not going to investigate the crime scene either because they just
No.
whatever.
And then who's he axe? He axes somebody, right? Because then he cuts off the snowman's
I don't remember him asking a question.
He asked somebody something. He asked him about Santa Claus. Though he comes in with an axe because he's killed somebody with it, and it's still dripping. It's like literally
Yeah.
like they were like, pour it on, now get in the frame.
Yeah.
And it was like dripping.
Oh, he killed the cop.
Oh yes, he
Killed
kills
the cop down in the
and then he chops the snowman's head off.
right. Hey,
That's how much he hates Christmas.
when you're in the mood,
He says, naughty, kills him, goes to kill Mother Superior, or Mother
Yeah.
Bitch Superior, is
Bitch
Rick, like he
Superior.
calls it. Then I just wrote down Rosenberg's. Oh, that's his.
Yeah,
That's who.
so the cops bust in though. kill
Yes, cops
him
bust in and kill the brother. So now
in a
Bobby's
Santa
dead.
outfit. So that's the
Yes.
second Santa Claus in less than 30
30
minutes,
minutes
that
that
have
they've
been
killed.
killed in front of all these orphan children.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And they don't do.
I don't do a squat.
They're not worried. Like, and the kids have no reaction. Real.
No.
Like really. They, in fact, when the next Santa Claus. Oh wait, those are different kids, though, aren't they? No, they're not. Santa Claus shows up there, and they're all like, Santa.
Yeah, yeah.
He tells her to lock the place down, and bitch superior's like, no
Nobody-
one's getting in here.
Nobody's not
Shouldn't-
supposed to come in here.
Yeah,
Get
like,
in
what do you
here.
mean? Like, do what he said. Do you have a magic door?
Right.
Or unless you thought that God was going to protect them.
Right.
I guess. Being a nun and all. Anyway.
Rosenberg's, I have that now.
So, yes, they kill him.
Fourth
So that's
boobs,
the end.
question mark? I couldn't remember if there was.
I don't know. That's the end of Billy.
That's the end of the first movie.
Yeah, that's the end of the flashback. Literally, we've been talking about it for
Yeah.
40 some minutes.
Yeah.
That's the end of the first
It's
movie.
over half of the movie.
Now it's Ricky now, and Ricky is with the Rosenbergs.
The youngest brother, Ricky, that was an infant when.
And he's the one that's saying things like, "Do you really want to know, Doc? What makes you think you're so special?"
I feel sorry for you. Why is that? Because you're the 13th doctor I've had. Like, that's supposed to
That
mean
was
something.
pretty good line delivery.
Like, it's supposed to mean something. It's like, well, 13 is my lucky number, so.
He's with the Rosenbergs. They run into some street nuns. The nuns are heading towards him on the street. There's a Santa in the distance. This scene just really tickled me. It's just some nuns walking down the
Yeah.
street, and this kid's like, "No, mom,
Honey, I'm talking.
and she's like, "The adults are talking, Ricky," and Ricky's like, "Ah." They turn and go into a store.
Right.
Ricky, relieved, right? They couldn't have been in that store more than 5 seconds.
Yeah.
And they turn, Mom! Ricky,
He is flipping out.
he's losing his mind. Then they go into yet another store,
Right.
and then we just see a big red. We just see red.
Red, yeah.
Just a red
Well,
fabric.
for some reason, they pulled whoever the store owner was, pulled that red sheet out to like block the window. So I don't know. I don't know if they were just
Satanic nuns.
yeah. I don't know. I don't know if it was like a dress shop and they were. It was weird, but it doesn't
Yeah, I
have to make
figured it
sense
was
in
like
this
a
kind of
fabric
movie,
store, but
Right.
that doesn't make
which
any
gives him
sense.
an instant flashback to Santa
And
Claus.
then the mom's like, "Oh, poor dear," and you
Yeah,
know,
and then she's like talking to him. She's like, he had some kind of seizure. You didn't see it. Like, he wasn't a seizure. He was
No.
just in panic.
you're just panicked. Yeah.
the 80s. Nobody knows anything.
No. When I have long family, guess what? I don't know what that means.
What was it?
I just wrote down long family, and guess what? With a bunch of exclamation points. I don't know.
I don't know either.
Anyway. So then what's Ricky do? This is Ricky now, right?
Right.
So this is new footage finally.
Yeah. We
Besides,
went through Ronnie, Bobby,
and this
and
he
now we're
says,
into Ricky's story.
And we're into Ricky's story, and he
and
says,
Mike's the only one left.
I never told anybody this. You're whatever he says.
Right.
I'm going to tell you something I've never told anybody. And he tells them about. Did I just skip over it?
See, a serial killer would be like, I'm going to tell you something I've never told anybody.
Yeah.
Like, it's not going to be, I'm going to tell you something that I've never told anybody. Like,
It's basically a kid who has never been around anything bad
right.
being asked to be bad.
Right.
And his idea of bad is like, well, I guess I kind of not yell, but like I just act like I'm really mean.
There's a
This
fake
is how
growl
mean
in my
guys
voice
talk.
a little bit. Like, yeah. Like, nobody talks like that. Nobody.
No, man.
Except Brando. I guess. Brando
I
kinda-
did find the arrowhead.
Yeah, brother.
Let's put brother in there. It's the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, brother. No, it's he's almost got like a California what's that? Surfer boy, almost Valley-ish.
You know, man.
But then it's
Are we talking about Brando or the guy?
no, the guy. But then it's like yelled. He would just say like, "Surf's looking good today, bro."
I didn't want to lose that surfboard. It's just so, dude. I don't know. I'm gonna get off. I'm gonna get off of it now. But
So he's on a back road doing what? I don't
just
know.
walking
Just
because he's
walking
walked
around.
that. He says
he's
he's
out.
walked that road for hours
He's
because
walked
nobody's around him. There's no one to lose.
That's right. There's no
No
one to
one's
lose
around
out
you.
there. That's right. There's no one to lose. And
Pay attention, man.
he finds a couple, and he starts creeping on him. He's peeping.
Yeah,
Nice peeping, Tommy.
creeping in him, creeping in him, creeping.
No, what's his name? Oh shoot, I just forgot it. I love Philip Seymour Hoffman line in The Talented Mr. Ripley when Matt Damon's like watching the other couple have sex, and Philip Hoffman's watching him the whole time. He's like, "Nice peeping, Tommy," whatever his name is. What's peeping at? Super creepy. Back roads. He finds a couple. This is what you're talking about. This is the third rape now. Is that right?
Yeah.
Third rape in a row that he has stumbled into. He finds a couple. Now they start out like, it's just old like Billy Bob
Having a picnic, just
having a
hanging out.
picnic, and he's just making it,
Smooching
drinking
here and
beer,
there,
a
yeah.
little smooching.
Tecate, as a matter of fact, he's drinking Tecate.
What?
Yeah, he's drinking Tecate.
What is that?
It's a Mexican beer.
Oh, no clue.
Yeah.
This is filmed in Mexico. I wouldn't be surprised.
That's why the
I
acting's
really
so
would.
bad.
I really wouldn't. To save money, they went to Mexico.
That's why the acting's so bad. You ever seen Mexican soap operas? They're terrible. They
So,
overact everything.
that's true. Then I wrote down, rape scene number 3, Wrangler. The guy, of course, goes too far, and he says, the thing is, though, like he does, he goes way too far, but then he does stop.
Yeah.
Before he actually, fgoes further.
Well, he goes to get a beer, and I think he was going to come back.
Yeah,
and
you're right.
resume.
I think he's like, yeah, she can't go anywhere.
I'll be back.
I'll be
You
back. I'm
better
gonna go get
something.
a beer. Yeah, you're right. And then Ricky gets in the Jeep and proceeds to run him over three or 4 times.
I'm not even asking where he came from to suddenly appear in the
He's
Jeep
just
because
there.
the guy reaches in the Jeep
Yes, you're right.
in the front
exactly right.
seat.
It's one of those like what?
and messes with the keys. And then a split second later, from a different camera angle, Ricky's behind the wheel of the Jeep.
Ricky Bobby's there.
So how did he get there?
He's magic. He got that mad
Got
Santa.
that Santa
he
magic.
got that Santa
man.
power, man.
Shit.
Yeah. There's
Oh, hey, WDBX members. What's going on?
Hey, in the midnight hour.
Yeah.
Welcome. Show's almost over. Just about. We got about a minute or 2 left. Now this is the only woman that thinks so. Woman. Cowboy. Thank you.
Yeah.
And she walks off, and he's like, he's like taxi driver moment. Like he gets his like, hey, I'm doing good here. Good for me.
Yeah.
What do I have? Oh, he said, I just wrote down, I remember this one. He asked the doctor about his wife, and he says, my wife's dead. And he says, that's too bad. What?
Yeah. I don't get it.
I wrote down beat down, overzealous, red hanky, umbrella death.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. What is that?
So, yeah. So
Who's he kill there?
Ricky, right? Ricky? Billy.
Ricky.
Billy? Really? Ricky?
Ricky.
Ricky works at that diner,
Okay.
takes the trash out.
That's right.
There's
That's
that guy
right. And
beating the crap
there's
out
a
of
mob
another guy.
guy.
Yeah.
There's a mob guy out there who's like
Not-
not the worst mob guy
Yeah.
since the Schwarzenegger movie we've watched. Just like
He's from
hey.
he's from Dubuque.
He's got a bunch of great lines that he blows.
Yeah.
He says things like, "I hope you don't pay me because I enjoy doing this so much." He's
Just beating the crap out of that guy.
We go way back, me and you. I promise I'll have the money. You ain't gonna have nothing. Cause you'll be
But there's
sleeping
no
with the fishes.
there's no accent like that at all. It's just like some guy from
Yeah, you're right.
yeah, it's like my accent.
Sorry,
And
some
I'm-
Mexican guy.
and I'm delivering the line like this, but I hope you don't have the money because I enjoy this too much. You know, there's
Yeah, you're right.
if he had a mafia accent,
I'm putting
Italian
too much
accent,
into it. I'm putting what I
would
wanted to be
great,
there.
but it just sounded stupid coming out of that guy.
I hope you like fish because you're gonna be swimming with them soon.
Hope you eat sushi because you're gonna be sleeping with the fishes soon. You know.
Hey, fool.
Hey man,
Hey, man.
you ain't never gonna have no money,
You
man.
ain't never
I'm about
gonna
to
have
kill
no
you now.
I tell you what, man. I hope you don't ever pay me because I love beating you up, fool. And I don't pity you. You degenerate.
You're the only one, man. You're the only one I don't pity.
I pity everybody, but I ain't gonna pity you, fool. You're too much of a fool.
Mr. T.
And then we bring up, so he kills him with the umbrella.
Oh, it's awesome
It's
scene.
insane death.
The opening of the umbrella's a nice touch.
Sticks through him, opens up, rain. Holy crap, we are out of time. WDBX. Thanks for listening. Sorry we just addressed you. If you don't realize, this is a podcast and a YouTube show as well. And but you are our original, and you're our favorite. So good night and sleep tight, Carbondale. And I'll probably be playing around you again pretty soon. Just look out for Eastwood and Bradley. We're playing all over the place. If you want to hear the rest of the show, get it on any where podcasts are found or on YouTube. Good night, Carbondale.
Anyway,
All right. That's fucking umbrella death. It's good.
great. It's great.
It's pretty good. Probably the most clever thing in the movie. But why is it in the rain? They spent a lot of money on those towers. Like you could see the rain towers come
yeah.
on and fit,
Yeah,
just
at
to
one
wash
point
the
it needed
blood.
a little more here, and you could see like water from a garden hose or something. Shit.
Yeah.
like coming in, and I was filling this void. I was like, oh my, come on.
Yeah, it was bad. And I have movie. Oh, he goes to the movie theater. This is when we bring in Jennifer.
Worst movie theater of all time. I'm just going to address that right off the bat. There's like 23 chairs.
Yeah, you're right. It's like the trucker theater in the local hooks.
Yes, totally. Yeah.
It's like the free theater that you can just go see whatever's playing.
There's no surround sound.
Oh no. He said they go to the he meets Jennifer. They run into each other. They laugh, have a meet cute, and then there's a montage of them hanging out all the way up until their sex scene. And then they're at the
Which
movies.
is not awkward at all.
Not awkward at all.
The way
Ricky-
he slides his hand slowly down her back.
Oh, that's right. To like hover
and then just touches her butt.
above her butt, like
So weird. It was like a hard ticket to Hawaii moment.
it was.
It really was.
Except I don't think it was in the lady's contract. I think
Yeah, I just think
it might have been purposeful. It might have been like, Ricky, you don't know what you're doing here. Like you're awkward and scared. I don't give the director.
so.
that
Why
much
is it that
credit,
Ricky
though.
can have sex,
Yeah, he's okay.
that anyone else is naughty?
That's exactly right. That's what I was gonna bring up.
Yeah.
He has sex. He doesn't seem to be bothered by it. They go to the theater.
man.
There's a.
That don't seem right.
You said what they call a hypocrite, man. There's a jerk in the back. He's just like the worst jerk in a theater, throwing popcorn, just commenting about everything. And of course, what's this movie about? Ricky doesn't know until she tells him it's a movie about Santa Claus
Killing people.
killing people.
He's like, what?
He snaps on the guy in the back, but we don't see. He just leaves for a moment.
Yeah.
And then the boyfriend shows up.
Yeah.
Ex-boyfriend,
Yeah.
Jennifer's ex, and he's just like the worst guy ever. Chip.
Chip.
That's his name. It's really weird.
He's got on his college sweater. I'm pretty sure it was a big D. I think he went to Duke University,
Oh,
which looks like a guy. I'm a big Duke
yeah.
basketball fan and college sports fan, but it looks like a guy that probably go to the Duke in the 80s.
yep. I agree with
In
you.
his 60-something Mustang, like 65 Mustang.
Chip is there. Chip talks to her about wanting her back, and he implies they had sex, and she's like, "Don't you ever tell anybody?" Then somehow, I guess he beats up the guy in the back. I don't even remember.
Yeah, he grabs him, and all you see is the guy's feet go up in the air.
Oh,
and
that's right,
popcorn
and his
come
popcorn
up, but it
fly
doesn't
up.
Show him like killing him or anything.
Does the guy next to the freak in the theater, is he his friend, or is he just happen to be sitting by him? Because his reactions to him
Right.
are not favorable.
Right.
Ever.
Right.
Not once does he like laugh at him. He mostly just does this. It's a really weird acting choice. No, once again,
Everything in this movie is a pretty weird acting
he
choice.
probably didn't know how to speak English. Probably didn't even know what they were saying.
He just nodded his head yes.
They were like, yes or no, one of the two. Just go with it. So then Chip then finds them in the street, and he says, "I fucked her brains out in the back seat of old Red here." What's he got? A piece of shit Mustang,
Yeah,
I think. Of
it's an old
course,
red Mustang.
All these goddamn 80 movies think that Mustangs are cool. Little did they know that they would hold up so poorly. And that's when we have a battery charger death.
Yeah. First one I think I've ever seen.
Pretty good.
Yeah. It wasn't bad.
Battery charger death, pretty crazy.
I don't know if that works, but
And then there was an antenna choke.
yeah.
What was that one? I don't remember that
He
one.
chokes his girlfriend
Oh, that's right.
because he finds out that she
That
had sex
she
with
had
him.
sex with
so
him.
she's no longer pure.
He fries.
She's naughty.
So he fries the chip, and then he antenna chokes her. And I wrote down, real good chance for Ahiago face for both of them.
And then he just walks around.
No, I'm sorry, Ahigeo. That's how it's pronounced, I believe.
We have another incompetent cop.
I've been told. I don't watch those videos, but I've been told it's Ahigeo. Anyway, go ahead.
So we have another incompetent cop that pulls up. His hat's all cocked over the side like freaking. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Like Barney from Mayberry RFD.
Yeah.
Like
I wrote down Will Ferrell's dad shows up as a cop.
the guy takes his gun. Because he's like,
Yeah.
I know how to use this. It's got it right in the kid's face.
right.
He grabs it, just spins it around, and shoots the guy
Shoots it
right in
right
the
in
forehead.
the
I was like, that's freaking
That was
awesome.
good.
That was a good scene.
That was good. It was his delivery and everything. I know how to use this.
Right.
It's instantly gets shot. Will Ferrell's dad does not last
Then
long.
he just walks around the street laughing so terribly.
My favorite line of
Yeah.
I think it's the cult line of the movie.
It's like 8
is-
minutes of him walking
is
down
him
the street,
laughing. And then he says,
shooting people for no reason.
"It's garbage day." What the fuck does that have to do with Christmas?
Did you notice?
What?
Did you notice that? So he works at a diner, right?
Yeah.
It's so he can afford this nice motorcycle, a Bronco. He has a Bronco at some point as a cook at a
loaded.
diner.
Well, it's
Freaking 80s, dude, man.
80s, man. You could just have a jerk off job and make all the money in the world.
There's a guy in the movie theater, and it's the old guy. There's an older couple.
There's only 6 people in the
There's
entire
an
place.
old
so yeah.
guy sitting there that looks just like the mine boss from White Fire. Looks just like I swear to God, it's it. Like I have to Google this. It looks just like the mine boss from White Fire.
Took a drink.
White Fire. Yeah,
White fire. Oh, that's great.
yeah, right here.
He's taking a break from White Fire business to watch a movie.
We got to find out.
So yeah, kill spree. If n-
Kyle. Yeah.
kill spree, garbage day. He's just shooting people at this point. There's a little girl. I don't know what happens to that little girl.
I gotta quit doing that,
There's a car flip.
dude. I've just got ha 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 car explosion.
Car flip. Classic. You know what happens when you hit another car? You fly in the
You
air.
fly in the air, and
20
then whenever
feet
you land
flip.
on your wheels, it just explodes.
The cops show up.
That was a great scene.
It was so funny. Cops drop their weapons. Ha ha ha. He's got no bullets left. We see the doctor is dead and he has escaped. And then we see the nun.
Why is her face like that?
I do not know. This movie is just like when you get old.
We got a little extra money. You
get-
want to throw some makeup on her, make her look weird? Like,
I don't know if she's like been punished,
yeah.
you know, for being such a jerk to
Or
the
if that's
kids.
just the way they interpret being older. is
Old. I
getting
really
boils all over your
think it
face.
might be like, well, she's old.
I mean, it's only a week later. We can't just film her now. She didn't look any older. Let's make her look
I
older.
think you're right. She's got a jacked up face. I wrote. I also wrote down, Mother Superior. And I also wrote down, no Santa puns. The entire movie,
Yeah.
beginning to end, not a single Santa pun besides you're naughty.
Yeah.
Nothing at all.
Not like whenever he comes out of the dark with the axe, he should be like, "You better watch out."
Something.
Yeah.
Your chimney was clogged.
Yeah.
There's 1,000 different ideas you could have had. The reindeer are tired. Like you could have.
Right.
Where's my cookies,
Right.
bitch?
Yeah.
Like that would have been. The writer. It was one of those first pass rights where they were like, I'm sure later they were like, oh, god damn it.
Every scene, they're like, we
if they
should've done
cared
this.
that much. I
Why
don't think
is
they
the
did.
retired Mother Superior still in her habit? She's retired.
Because it's a habit
retired.
she can't break, buddy.
You know, it's a hard habit to break.
That's why they call the habit.
But yeah, they make this big deal about this in the scene, like, "Oh, Mother Superior retired, blah blah,
Yeah, you're
years
right.
ago," and then they
But
cut
she's
to Mother
still-
Superior. She's still in her habit.
I
I'm
guess if you wear something for like all your life, you just maybe can't.
like, I would never want to wear it again.
I wouldn't either, but maybe though. You might just be comfortable in it. She might be one of those like she gets all cold and weird without it.
Her house number 666.
Yeah,
She didn't notice that,
out of nowhere.
and it plays. It doesn't play anything into the movie.
No, just weird. Just a weird choice.
They're
that
like,
they-
"Hey, you know what we ought to do? See if anybody notices."
It's featured prominently in
Yeah,
the trailer
it's like twice
as well.
It's in the movie. It's like
Yeah,
twice.
yeah,
for like
they
2
show it.
seconds. They show it.
Something about her wheelchair. I wrote down naughty this.
Yeah, he yells that.
Naughty this. And I wrote down turn the other cheek. That's what I was because that was my input. That would have been that was my line. Head falls off. Cop shoot him. That's how I finished my notes. Head falls off. Cop shoot him. Ricky gets taken down. And that's pretty much the end of the movie. As we ask ourselves at the end of this show, does this movie tie the room together? And I would say yes with a caveat of I think the more people that are watching it, the more fun this movie is.
Yeah.
If we just watching it by
I think
yourself,
the more times you watch it, probably. I think this is going to be like a Big Lebowski, not on obviously not on the par with that, but I think you're going to notice like so many flaws that they didn't edit out, or many,
you're right.
So many things. That,
so many line deliveries, so many little things that
Yeah.
don't need to be in the movie,
Right.
Which is always a telltale of a bad movie. It's like why did you even have this scene in here? It has nothing.
that doesn't factor in at all.
The nun makeup, every line that Ricky has,
Right.
all the flashbacks are pretty great. So I say, it kind of ties the room together. My friends didn't die face down in the muck.
Right. So this strumpet, this.
But no. So yeah, I'm like, part of me kind of loves it, and part of me is like, it's so bad that it's maybe not fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, watch it with people, and I think you'll have a good
Part
time.
of it is a good bad movie,
Yeah.
and part of it's just bad.
Yeah,
To where it's
that's a good explanation because the flashbacks are just enjoyable and it's a bad movie. Well, that's not true. Part of this is a bad movie too, though. It's weird. It's a weird movie. It's Christmas though.
the fact that it's so laughable that they only wrote like 20 minutes of a movie and then just played the original movie.
Yeah. So
As
basically, you
part
have
two.
essentially you have about probably 10 to 14 minutes, if that, probably 10 to 12 minutes in the doctors with Ricky.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have another 14 minutes of footage of him killing the couple by the lake.
Yeah, of actual part 2 footage.
Yeah, and then the rampage of him saying it's garbage day. And then the rest is all
Part 1.
they're all,
Sounded
this is
like
all
Deadly
part
Night 1.
one. And that's kind of fun on its own
Yeah,
right.
it's hilarious that one they got funding and backing.
Yeah, which it couldn't have been that much. So that probably was how they got it. They were like, "Listen, it's half a movie we're shooting,
Right.
if that."
We're gonna use the footage from the first one.
It's weird.
Yeah,
It's
we already have that. We don't have to shoot that.
I feel real weird about this one. That's next week.
That's next week.
If you want to jump ahead, we are doing Scrooge, the Charles Dickens classic Scrooge next week. We'll see you. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.
Yep.
Bye.